Okay, Caleb Ulku here, and I have another trick for you. If you have an e-com product that is perfect, just perfect for older, whiter people, you need to be on Bing Shopping. Now, don't laugh about Bing Shopping, okay? Now, who uses Google Shopping, right? And Google Shopping is when you search for a product on Google and the product ads come up. They don't even look like ads. They get a much stronger click-through rate, and they get a higher conversion rate than text ads, even on Google. It shows the photo, shows the price. They work really well for e-com. Now, who uses Google, right? Of course, pretty much everyone, but mostly mobile devices. Almost 3/4, maybe around 70% of Google search traffic is on mobile devices. And we know that e-com stores don't convert as well on mobile devices. Now, we don't really want to just run Google ads for desktop devices, because the pickier and pickier we get on factors like that, the more and more Google will charge us per click. But let's think about Bing, right? Who uses Bing, okay? And I'm only slightly joking when I say that Bing's demographics pretty much consist of people who just bought a Windows computer and haven't changed the default search engine yet. That's it. 80 to 90% of Bing searches are on the desktop, which is crazy high. Google, again, desktop searches on Google are more like 30%, not 80 to 90. Plus, because so many marketers ignore Bing, the cost per click is almost half what Google's cost per click is. So we have a lower cost per click and a higher conversion rate because users are on their desktops. So if you take your Google product campaigns and transfer them over to Bing, your ROAS, your return on ad spend, is typically going to go up by factors. Now, the downside. Bing Shopping isn't super easy to set up. It can be a bit of a challenge. And let me tell you, Microsoft Shopping is even worse. It's absolutely terrible. It's awful to set up, but you need to learn how to do this if you're working with e-com, especially if you're working with products that are a good fit for older, whiter people on their desktop computers. That's the fit for Bing. So let me show you a way to shortcut some of that challenge of getting a Bing Shopping ad going. So the first thing you need to do is go to the Microsoft Merchant Center, and you need to create a store. Now, in order to create a store, you're going to need to claim your property with Bing Webmaster Tools or with Bing's conversion tracking tools. So if you have a Bing ads campaign, a Microsoft ads campaign set up, you're probably using Bing's conversion tracking, in which case you can use the same tags to link those to your Microsoft Merchant Center account. If you've never done anything with Bing before, then go to Bing Ads, create your Microsoft Ads account, and then set up conversion tracking, because you'll need to do that anyway. Set up conversion tracking on your e-com site or your client's e-com site, and then use that to link to the Microsoft Merchant Center. Now, once you have the Microsoft Merchant Center set up and you have your store approved, you have to create a product feed. Now, Google makes this really easy. It's a web form. There's some questions and boxes. You just fill them out. If you make a mistake, an error pops up immediately. Not a big deal, fairly straightforward. Bing will let you import that, but when you import it, it's going to be full of errors because there's not a one-to-one mapping. So the best way to do this is actually to manually create a product feed. Now, what I would suggest is you do a search. Of course, I'm doing a Google search because everyone uses Google, except the Windows users who haven't changed their default search engine. So Microsoft Merchant Center product feed example. And so this is the result I went to. And you're going to look for how do I create the feed file and the short example of a feed file. Okay, so if I open that, I end up with this. Now, here's the wonderful thing, right? On Google, if you have multiple products, you don't want to use the web form, Google will create a Google Doc for you. It will have all of the column headings already entered, and then it'll let you just type everything in, and then you can submit it to the Google Shopping Center. There's an easy button just on the right of the spreadsheet. That's not how it works at the Microsoft Merchant Center. At the Microsoft Merchant Center, you have to fill out a text file. it only accepts text files. I'm not joking, it has to be a text file. This is a big part of why everyone ignores Microsoft Bing shopping ads. Okay, so this is really hard to read. So the trick here is we'll just copy this whole thing, and then we're gonna come over to Excel. Let me share my Excel window with you. We'll come over to Excel or Google Sheets and we'll paste it in, and it's a complete disaster, right? This didn't work at all. Okay, so there's a special way that we have to paste it in. If we come over New Sheet, and if I right click and I hit Paste Special, and then I say I'm pasting text and hit OK, Microsoft is smart enough to know that those breaks, those tabbed breaks, are new columns. So now I have something that I can actually read. Title, brand, ID, link, price. So now I can come through and update this, okay? And once I'm finished updating this, I can copy these columns. I can copy this, this area here. And if I come into a notepad, which will let me paste it into text. So let me share my notepad with you. And I know this sounds ridiculous, right? Why now will Bing only accept product feeds in text? Who knows? But it's great news for you because it means there's less competition. And then we paste it in. This we'll be able to upload over to Bing quite a bit easier than working with the mess of the example file they gave us. Okay, so let's review. Why is it worth going through all that pain to set up your Bing merch or your Bing ads, your Bing shopping ads? Okay, your cost per click is going to be half the price of Google, and your conversion rate is going to be higher than Google, often almost twice as high as Google's conversion rate. I regularly see conversion rates above 10%, which is really high for a shopping ad, with a cost per click in the $1 to $2 range, right? If you can't make money with a $2 click and a 10% conversion rate, you need to sell more expensive things. Do that. Set up your Microsoft Merchant Center, get your Microsoft shopping ads going, and your return on ad spend is likely going to be multiple times higher than your Google shopping return, okay? Not fun, it can be pain, but it's definitely worth it. You're gonna thank me, your clients are gonna thank me, okay? You're welcome. Take care.